The Ledger of Second Chances, a story of debt, dignity, and redemption. Introduced Daniel Reynolds, a well-respected accountant with a luxurious life, a family he cherishes, and a spotless financial record. But everything collapses after one misstep, compounded by personal loss. Daniel Reynolds wasn't just good with numbers, he lived by them. His days were filled with balance sheets, forecasts, and 5-year plans. Life had always added up, until it didn't. In one cruel season, Daniel lost his wife to a car crash, and with her went his sense of direction. The markets crashed, and so did he, emotionally and financially. Within 2 years, he went from penthouse views to sharing a 1-bedroom apartment with unpaid utility bills piling on his table. Show his descent into debt, loneliness, and shame. He avoids people, dodges calls, and lives in silence, haunted by his past. Bill collectors replaced his morning coffee. The fridge echoed more than it hummed. Daniel stopped answering calls, avoiding friends, family, and former colleagues. He couldn't forgive himself, not just for the money lost, but for the time wasted, the arrogance, the belief that wealth made him invincible. One rainy evening, Daniel notices a struggling single mother, Claire, and her young son outside a grocery store. She's short on money for groceries, and he steps in. Claire clutched a few bills and coins, whispering to the cashier to remove items. Daniel didn't think, he acted. "Let me help," he said softly. She hesitated. "I don't take charity." "It's not charity," he said. "It's a loan. And I charge no interest." That night, for the first time in months, Daniel smiled. Not because he spent money, but because he remembered what it meant to be useful. Daniel and Claire strike up a cautious friendship. She's working 2 jobs, drowning in credit card debt, and barely surviving. Daniel offers to help her with budgeting. They met weekly at the local library. Claire brought stacks of unopened bills. Daniel brought a calculator and notebooks. "I didn't know budgeting could feel like therapy," she said once. He laughed. Sometimes facing numbers is easier than facing ourselves. With each session, Claire learned. So did Daniel. She rebuilt her finances. He rebuilt his soul. Inspired by Claire's transformation, Daniel volunteers at a community center, teaching basic financial literacy. He finds purpose in helping others avoid his mistakes. Soon, Daniel was hosting free workshops titled, "Your Money, Your Power." At first, only 5 people came. Then 20. Then it was standing room only. Each story reminded him of himself, the fear, the shame, the confusion. But he saw hope in every question asked, every notebook filled. Daniel visits his estranged brother, whom he'd ignored during his success and pushed away during his fall. They reconcile, slowly, through open conversations and honesty. "I was angry at you," his brother said. "You thought you were too good for us when you had money. Then too broken when you lost it." "I was," Daniel admitted. "But I'm not that man anymore." Sometimes, healing begins not with grand gestures, but with 4 simple words: "I'm sorry. I'm here." Daniel begins journaling every lesson he learns and every person he helps in a ledger of second chances. It's no longer about numbers, but impact. Each entry was a name, a story, a breakthrough. Not of profits or losses, but of people who refused to give up. Claire, Javier, Alana. This ledger didn't balance. It overflowed. A nonprofit offers Daniel a full-time role teaching financial recovery. He accepts. In the final scene, Claire opens her own small business, and Daniel attends as a guest of honor. Claire's small bakery opened with little fanfare, but Daniel beamed with pride. "From debt to donuts," she joked. He laughed. "From failure to freedom. That's the real journey." As he stood watching families laugh and kids play, Daniel whispered, This is wealth.